There are some movies she would make that are probably not the movies that I would like, just like I make a lot of things she hates.
Okay, I love this movie so much.
Awesome.
I really do. There's so many cool things about this movie. There's so much more to it than just a love story. It's so real, it's so relatable, and there's so many different aspects of it that are so great. Aside from romance, there's a really awesome lesson to be learned about like prioritizing and making time for your family and your loved ones, which is something that everybody needs to be reminded of. And your wife does such a great job with this as well, because I feel like the characters really are allowed to, the actors are really allowed to kind of explore the characters themselves. Now, I work with my sister in real life, you know, so tell me, we fight all the time.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. So is it fun working together? Like, is it the dream team? She says you have a lot of great ideas, like things like that.
I try. It was great. To me, there's never been this like clear line of like, you don't work with your friends and family. To me, it was always more like, I mean, if they have the same job as you and you like them enough to be friends or family, then you should probably work with them if you can. And so it was great. But the truth is, like, it was awesome that she made a movie that I just knew I would love, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't, you know, there are some movies she would make that are probably not the movies that I would like, just like I make a lot of things she hates. And so, but as soon as I read the script, I was like, this is exactly the type of movie that I would love to watch. And it reminded me of a lot of movies that I watched, you know, when I was starting to write movies that I loved. And so, I was mostly just psyched I didn't have to lie and tell her it was good when it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a relief, right? You guys filmed this in about 6 weeks and kind of in different locations. Like, what is the most difficult part about filming a movie like this with, like, on a boat and, like, all this crazy stuff?
Well, it wouldn't have been very difficult because other than Hurricane Irma, who decided to knock on the door of Florida while we were there and shut down production for a week. But it actually, from our perspective, like everything was on the page. This journey that we're supposed to be taking, and I think we both really liked our characters and understood their dynamic, and I thought it was really beautiful that they, you know, my father abandoned my character, and when I see him, I have all this anger, and then I'm faced with the decision of whether or not I could forgive him and what each decision would mean to me personally and the rest of my life. And I like thinking about that stuff because I personally believe that forgiveness is an easier road.
Right.
So making it was fine, and spending time in these locations was great. It was the hurricane that really
threw it off. Yeah.
Being on a cruise ship for me is a hellish scenario.
Yeah, me too. I've never been on one. Can't imagine.
Don't go on one. Then don't go on one. No. That's what I would say. Some friendly advice, because you will hate it. Because it's probably worse than you think it's going to be. Honestly.
Yeah, and I already think it's going to be bad.
You already think it's going to be bad.
Totally.
It was kind of just fascinating. So like that, and I was working. So like in my free time, I would just kind of wander around this massive ship that was insane. And so like I was on it for an amount of time that was actually just kind of like an amazing experience. I was like, I'm on the it's gigantic.
I know. When they showed it, I was like, there's no way they're actually on this thing. And then I was like, no, wait a second, I think they really are.
They're on that. Yeah, they were on two of it. They went on two full. My wife has been on that cruise ship for like over a month for the last like year collectively.
Right.
And it's the biggest ship in the world.
Yeah, it's insane. Now I'd like to believe that, you know, somewhere in the drunken state of your characters, that night they decide to get on to this honeymoon cruise together. Subconsciously, you know, they made that decision, even though they were intoxicated. I do like to believe that, like, you know how they say, you know, don't text when you're drunk because you're usually really honest when you're drunk, right? So I feel like there's a part of me that wants to believe that maybe they made that decision, you know, subconsciously. They obviously wanted to connect, and they were obviously searching. I like that
line of thought.
Yeah, I think that they were searching for.
You've done a really good job. Yeah, that's
thanks,
right.
That was my deep thought of the day. I think that they were really searching for that. So I want to know from you guys, like, what's the craziest thing you guys have done for love in your own real lives?
Ooh, wow. Stayed vulnerable for
way
longer
hard.
than I felt
try it again.
comfortable staying vulnerable, and that's the craziest
thing.
Thought
it was a good idea again. That was really important.
All right, before we wrap up, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a quote from some romantic movies, and you're going to guess where it's from.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You're late, you're stunning, you're forgiven.
I have no idea. What is that?
That one is Pretty Woman. I didn't know that one either. My mom was very
That's like an obscure quote from Pretty Woman.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Rio?
No. Oh. Close. The Notebook. All right, next one. Because you can't lose something you never had.
Ooh, I don't know.
That one is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I've never seen that movie.
Because you can't lose something you never had.
Oh boy.
Godfather.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Close again, though. Here's a good one.
I'm pretty good at this.
Here's an easy one. I'll Never Let Go.
I'll Never Let Go. Titanic.
Yeah. I'll Never Let Go.
Oh.
Holy moly.
Broke Back Mountain.
Holy,
You guys, it's on a boat.
I just, yeah.
You should know this one. That one's Titanic, all right?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
He's cold.
Yeah.
He's a little cold.
You'll never
at
let
that
go,
point.
but then he lets go.
Did let go.
You know, and
and that's the way it works.
Totally
and
let
then
go.
he just like floated.
Yeah.
Yes. Marriage is like an unfunny, tense version of Everybody Loves Raymond.
That's from a movie I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Knocked Up?
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Marriage is like an unfunny, tense version of Everybody Loves Raymond.
So, Neighbors?
This is 40?
No, but close. Knocked Up.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Forgot
we
about that
win?
movie.
You guys got 0
didn't
right,
get
but
anything.
you
We got
did
0.
great. But before you go, you can click right over here for another brand new video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.